Hey friends, Arkin here, and let me say this right out the gate. Holy guys, this is amazing. 100 subscribers. Now, I know that does not sound like much, but, well, you have no clue. When I began this channel, I thought it would never work. I have tried YouTube before, and it failed miserably. However, this seems to be working out pretty well, and I passed 100 subscribers on August 3rd. I am currently at 106. All the series that I thought would fail horribly did not. Saga of Arkin, which is my main project, has taken off and been received overwhelmingly well. So, for 50 subscribers, I was gonna do a Q&A, but decided against it. So now, at 100, I'm finally doing it. Keep in mind that a lot of these usernames that I'll be showing have changed because these questions are from a month ago. Also, my voice has dropped again, and my throat hurts, so sorry if my voice sounds weird. Puberty is fun. So I'll be separating this into sections based on the category of the questions. So enough with this weird jumpy editing I'm doing, and let's get right into it. So the first question is by Sheep Palpatine, also known as Jules Manus, and his question is, what is my favorite Lord of the Rings mod faction? So this is a hard one. I don't actually have a favorite faction for the overall Lord of the Rings mod. I mean, the closest it gets is probably Gondor, but I do have favorites for each race. So my favorite for men is Gondor. My favorite for evil men is, I can't decide between Rudel and Nirharad. For orcs, it's Mordor, for elves, it's Wood Elves, and for dwarves, it's Durin's Folk. So here we have Lord of Lustria asking what my favorite Lord of the Rings faction is. Now, I'm fairly certain that he meant the exact same thing as Palpatine. He probably was talking about the mod, but, I mean, he didn't phrase it that way, so I'll take advantage of that. My favorite Lord of the Rings faction is not actually in the mod. It is either Anduin Tribesmen or the Wainriders. I don't know why, they just always fascinated me. Okay, so here we have a question from Savitar, and his question is, what is your favorite game? So, this is probably going to be a pretty controversial answer, and might piss a lot of people off, but my favorite game is actually the Lord of the Rings mod. Now I know that the Lord of the Rings mod isn't a game, it's just a modification for Minecraft, but Minecraft is not my favorite game. It is... I use it as a tool to record. Lord of the Rings mod actually has more content than Minecraft itself, and I find it far more enjoyable. If you want to, let's say an actual legitimate game, it would be this really old strategy game called Rise of Nations. Okay, so my friend and occasional recording partner, JHCon1236, for short JHC, asks me what my favorite movie is. Now, this is a very difficult one, but I'd have to say it is probably either The Truman Show or Ferris Bueller. They're both very well put together movies that I thoroughly enjoyed. So now a question from one of the longest supporters of my YouTube channel, and one of the few people who was on my Discord before I even started YouTube, Emeth Orthenfist, and his question is, what is my favorite book? So for me, it would be between the Lord of the Rings series, the Harry Potter series, and Jules Verne's books 80 Days Around the World or The Mysterious Island. So a YouTube friend of mine known as Anatara asks, do I like potatoes? Well...
Potatoes! Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew.
Do I like pineapple pizza? No.
We have found the witch, may we burn her! Burn her! Burn her!
So here we have Savitar again asking, what is my height? My height is currently around 5'5". So here we have Emerald Mindstar asking my age, which I've actually stated multiple times in different videos and on Discord, but my age is 13. So here Unipromo wants to know a potential release date for the Battle for Middle-earth Season 1. It should be coming out when JHC comes home from Asia, so sometime around September or October. So here we have Jose Torta, also known as Jose Montiel, asking what made me start YouTube. So this is a rather interesting one. The YouTube channel Mind of Mike, which is currently featured on the Lord of the Rings mods forum page, I watched his entire single-player series. I'm currently rewatching a second time, and I always wanted to do YouTube, and when he quit YouTube, I felt really emotional about it because I'd been supporting this channel for a long time, and I absolutely loved all of his work, and I was just defeated by him leaving, and I thought, I gotta continue his legacy. I have to at least try. And I wanted to start YouTube anyway, so shortly afterwards, I posted my first video on January 15th of this year. And Mike, thanks for being my inspiration to start this. So here we have Super Sam 792 asking, why do I like Lord of the Rings mod so hard, and what do I think of its community? This is an interesting one. So I really love the Lord of the Rings mod because it has so much potential. You can do so many things with it. In fact, I mean, Minecraft I just use as a tool for telling stories that I come up with in my head. I love Lord of the Rings, I love video games, and I love telling stories, and this is a perfect combination. I also love making videos. The community is very mixed. It can be amazing, really fun, really kind, and very supportive. Most of my viewers are extremely patient and understanding, but there are some people who are completely unbearable and just a complete pain in the ass. So here we have Philosopher, also known as Lime Soda is here, asking me, what other games am I interested in, and outside of Lord of the Rings, what universes do I like? For example, Star Wars and Harry Potter. So let's start with the first one. What other games am I interested in? Ones that I currently don't play would probably be the Battle for Middle-earth, the game, and I am also interested in the Battlefront 2, and no, not the crappy one that EA released last year. I'm talking about the original Battlefront 2 from 2005, and I'm also interested in Republic Commando. I've played it before with my friend, and it was very interesting. Outside of Lord of the Rings, I do like both of those universes, Star Wars and Harry Potter. I love them both a lot. Alright, so here we have, I'm not even going to try to pronounce his name, and he just asked me a ton of questions about Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor, so let's just dive right into this. Why did I use the Flame of the War for your trailer? So, what trailer he's referring to is the Battle for Middle-earth Season 1 Call to War trailer. Number one, I didn't use Flames of War, I used the intro music for the original Shadow of Mordor game, in the opening cutscene where it does the title flash. I used it because I wanted to sort of convey a menace and a threat, and in this piece of music, it's reciting the poem of the One Ring in black speech, in chanting form, and it was awesome, so I figured it would work. Do I like the Shadow series? Yes, I love it a lot. I know a lot of people hate it because, well, it breaks the lore, but you can only tell the exact same story so many times. Sometimes you need to break lore to create an interesting story, and that ultimately is the point. If yes, what do you like the most? I like the story. I know a lot of people think it's stupid and bad. I like it a lot. And I also love the Nemesis system, which I guess answers the next question. And how do I think it could improve? I can't really give comment on this because I own Shadow of War, but I have not played it yet. I've seen a lot of playthroughs of it. None of them complete. But I know a lot about it. I know a lot of the story, so I can't really give any opinion on that. Okay, so here we have another question from Otto, and he's asking, what's with a mouse? So I need to first I need to explain what with a mouse actually is. On Discord, you can set a game that you're playing. So if you're playing Minecraft, for example, or Shotcut, or Google Chrome, etc., you can set Discord to display that you're playing that. But the best part about that is you can change the name of whatever you're playing. So for me, I've changed, I believe, Minecraft to with a mouse. So it says playing with a mouse. So that's a joke that I actually stole from one of my IRL friends, Alec. He's a moderator on my YouTube Discord. He once had a streak where it said playing with a mouse for almost 21 days. It was so beautiful, and I stole that joke from him. He even confronted me about that. It was really funny. And now our final question comes from a person called Zarkanic. He is a builder and king of Linden on the Battle for Middle-earth server, and his question is, when did I discover Tolkien's universe and how? So this is an interesting story. So I was 6 years old, and my dad read The Hobbit to me. I actually still haven't read it myself, ever. I plan to start rereading the entire Lord of the Rings series pretty soon. That includes The Hobbit, so that won't be true for long. So soon after that, I asked my dad during a dinner party, are there any follow-ups to this story? I really liked it, and I want to read more. And he said, yeah, there's this series called Lord of the Rings, but you're far too young to read it. Through some persuasion that I'm rather proud of to this day, he let me try out Lord of the Rings. I read the first 10 pages. I freaking loved it. And, I mean, about 8 months later, I finished it. To be fair, I was a 7-year-old, so my reading abilities were not exactly incredible, but ever since then, I have absolutely adored Tolkien's universe and loved all of his work, leading up eventually to this YouTube channel. Hey guys, thanks for watching. I have to thank you all again for 100 subscribers. It's still sinking in on me, and I have to say, the day that another Dark Times member, the Witch King, messaged me and said, yo, you have 100 subscribers, that was probably the best day of this entire summer. This made my summer. So huge thanks to all of you guys for subscribing and the continued support. There will be more stuff on the way. Unfortunately, school is starting soon, so that could get in the way of a lot of plans, but I will try to continue to upload as consistently as possible. Thank you all again, and have a nice day.